Absolute Radio is no longer available on this frequency.
Well, today is a sad day here in Radioland. Early January of this year saw an announcement from Absolute Radio that they would be changing the way we listen to their services. In other words, switching off the AM transmitters across the UK. The station, owned by Bauer Media, went on to announce that on January the 23rd, 2023, it would turn off its medium wave frequencies across the United Kingdom in favour of DAB, online streaming and other digital platforms. This marked the end of several of Bauer's greatest hits radio AM signals as well. In its message to listeners, Absolute stated that its signals, quote, sound better on digital as it offers a much stronger signal and cuts out background noise. The station also noted that nearly all of its audience currently tunes to the station via digital platforms. They said, lots of you agree, which is why nearly all of our audience listen to us digitally. Broadcasting on AM requires running an additional transmitter, which is environmentally unfriendly and not cost efficient, given the small number of those listening here. The frequency of 1215 kHz or 247 meters was used in selected areas only by the BBC Light programme until 1967. It was then used nationally as the original home of BBC Radio 1 until the 22nd of November 1978, then from the 23rd of November 1978 until the 28th of February 1992 by BBC Radio 3. In 1993, the station Radio Virgin launched, operating on 1215 kHz, and was later acquired by Bauer in 2013. Absolute Radio had 33 AM transmitters across the UK on 1197, 1215, 1233, 1242 and 1260 kHz, many of which launched the service in 1993, with Redruth in Cornwall joining Absolute in 1997. Different frequencies were used due to the overlap of powerful stations within close proximity of each other. The station actually closed on AM at midnight on Friday the 20th of January 2023, with a close-down loop running 24/7 until transmitters began to be gradually switched off on January the 25th. The station I've been showing you in this video is Moorside Edge Transmitting Station, which opened on the 17th of May 1931. It was later closed down, and the new station, which remains to this day, opened on the 16th of May 1984. Until today, or the day I uploaded this video, Moorside Edge was home to Radio 5 Live on 909 kHz, TalkSport on 1089 kHz, and Absolute Radio on 1215 kHz. The closed-down loop had been playing until this afternoon, until the air suddenly went dead, and Moorside Edge's 200 kilowatt transmitter that served the North West and Yorkshire went quiet forever.
Absolute Radio is no longer available on this frequency. We're no longer broadcasting on AM, but it's easy to keep listening to Absolute Radio. Digital radio is free and can work in your car or van too. There are all sorts of adapters and connectors you can use, and you can find out more about these at absoluteradio.co.uk/listen. And of course, there's the free Absolute Radio app. Just download it to your phone and get all the Absolute radio stations plus lots more. And again, you can easily use Bluetooth or plug your device into the auxiliary input in your car radio. So, just a reminder, Absolute Radio is no longer available on this frequency. There are a number of good reasons we've made this change. And you can find out all the information on our website. The address is absoluteradio.co.uk/listen. That's also the webpage to go to find out about all the different ways you can keep listening to Absolute Radio. absoluteradio.co.uk/listen. Thanks for listening to Absolute Radio, and we hope you'll keep listening on digital radio, on the free Absolute Radio app, or ask your smart speaker to play Absolute Radio.
The closed-down loop could still be heard in the background extremely faintly, which is likely the 105 kilowatt transmitter down in Droitwich, or even possibly the 125 kilowatt station down at Brookmans Park, but as the 25th of January came to a close, the station's transmitters disappeared one by one. So, the end of an era for Absolute Radio and their AM service. The Greatest Hits radio transmitter on 1152 in Manchester sits dormant, with almost no chance of being revived. It's quite lucky that Moorside Edge still has enough services to keep it going, but for how long?